Weeks of simmering racial tension in Oldham finally erupted last night as more than 500 Asian youths fought pitched battles with riot police. Armed with bricks and petrol bombs and aiming fireworks at police, the mob rampaged across the town's Brodick estate throughout the night and into the early hours of this morning.
But how did the far right tip a relatively peaceful, multicultural community into race-hate chaos? Less than 20 years ago, Oldham was overwhelmingly white. Now Asians make up 11% of the population, and the two communities rarely mix.
How are you?
Nanu Mia has lived here since 1984.
Is it very segregated?
I mean, it is, in a way, it is segregated. But what can you do? It's just the way it is. Do you understand? I mean, I don't like it. I'm sure there's a lot of people around here don't like it.
In 2001, racial tension had been building in Oldham. The town had gained a reputation as the country's race-hate capital, thanks to controversial crime figures published by the police, which showed an increase in Asian-on-white attacks. It was the perfect climate for the far right to enact their campaign of provocation.
You have to remember that 2001 was an election year, and an election in which immigration was very high on the agenda. And for many white communities, and also a large portion of the media, the whole concept of Asian youth, immigration, asylum seekers was rolled into one generic fear of dark skin.
This fear was given a focus when, in April, a 76-year-old war veteran, Walter Chamberlain, was assaulted by Asian thugs. The story made national headlines.
Apart from the severity of the injuries, this attack has shaken Oldham because it came just days after a group of Asian youths were reported to be threatening to set up no-go areas in the town where whites would not be allowed.
The far-right British National Party pounced on the controversy. On St George's Day, their leader, Nick Griffin, announced his intention to stand in Oldham West in the forthcoming general election.
So the racial problems that have been in Oldham made you want to vote BNP?
BNP, yeah.
What did BNP offer, do you think?
I'm not sure, really.
This town is run by Asians. It is run by Asians for Asians, to the exclusion of the whites.
By May, members of the far right were making regular weekend visits to Oldham in a clear attempt to destabilise the town's fragile peace. The local community and the Anti-Nazi League came out to protest against them. But although police tried to keep things under control, the Asian youth were steadily rising to the bait. Early afternoon on Saturday, May the 26th, a gang of white hooligans on the way to Oldham football ground decided to take a different route to the stadium.
Rather than taking that route, they actually came down that route, the Chariton Way, just behind the houses, Chariton Way.
Which is pretty much a predominantly Asian area.
Yeah. Well, you got majority, you got shops, groceries, you got...
Yes, it's a little Asian community,
yeah,
and you were saying that this diversion of the football fans was a provocative... decided to do.
Somebody, I think it's all...
Deliberately provocative.
It was planned.
Nanu was in the community centre when the hooligans passed by.
The girls upstairs are screaming, so we thought, whoa, what's going on? So we rushed upstairs, and so they're all curled up in a corner. It's like giving support to one another, and they were in tears, scared so much. So we looked through the window and we see there's hundreds of, like white men, shouting out Nazi signs. We've seen their hands up and saying, pack his out.
They were all coming down this way, that way. They're all running, about 250 to 300 people. And one of them shouted, "Oh, Hussein brothers, noticed the sign." Hussein brothers started kicking the door.
The perception is that it's people from outside that have come into the area and provoked people.
If they come down vandalising and breaking our shops and beating us up, then we have a duty to defend ourselves.
Within hours, there was a full-scale riot. The police, sensing trouble, had successfully diverted the football fans away from the area, but this just left them facing a volatile and fired-up group of Asian youth. Nanu tried to defuse the situation by talking to the police.
So I went down and I said, listen, we don't do what you plan, don't attack this, they'll go, just allow us some more time.
Yeah.
So we came back up, and after about 10 minutes, the police from all directions they attacked.
Police were injured during the confrontations. Reinforcements had to be drafted.
Across town, a group of whites attacked an Asian family.
When you got people coming into your house, knocking on your door and dragging your family out and beating them up, you got to put a stop to it, and this is it.
Fueled by fear and rumour, violence exploded to the surface. By nightfall, the whole of Oldham seemed to be rioting. Asians attacked the local newspaper, which they perceived to be racist, and a local pub, ironically named the Live and Let Live.
They come in, attacked all my customers with bricks, stools, glasses, bottles, whatever they had their hands on.
But the most hatred seemed to be reserved for the police.